Hello, good afternoon, and welcome back to my Harlem Portraits. I'm Maria Grazia Cavenaghi, and I'm your host. As you know, this show is about Black excellence in every field. And today we are going to talk about excellence in jazz. Jazz. And to talk about excellence in jazz, we have Miss C Kelly Wright.
Hello.
Who is the co-founder and host of Harlem Late Night Jazz.
Yes.
And she's going to tell us everything about this institution that they created in 2006.
Outstanding contribution to New York City culture by the Guides Association of New York. Not just for what it means for us, but for what it means for our mission. And our mission is a simple one, and that's to keep the music alive uptown in Harlem. It's Mecca. I'm often asked, what is jazz? When you talk about this music, you got to understand it's all branches off of the same tree. And that tree is rooted in gospel, blues, and field songs. And somewhere right now, some kid somewhere is creating a new branch that's about to spring up. And Harlem Late Night Jazz wants to be a part of keeping this alive. Go to our website, harlemlatenightjazz.org, and give generously. Tell your friends about us. And above all, come out.
Late night jazz comes back to Harlem the way it used to be, so that you could party all night long in jazz, in Harlem, listening to jazz.
Yes.
And you brought, welcome.
Yes, thank you so much.
And you brought with you a surprise for us.
Yes, I did.
A wonderful artist.
Yes.
Whom I know.
Yes.
So why don't you introduce her?
Well, this sister is, she's a beautiful, beautiful sister. She's a multi-talented sister, a multi-dimensional sister. She is a Harlem Late Night Jazz family member. I definitely call her sister. She's a Grameen woman. She is so many things, and we call her, and you'll come to know her as Sister Zoc.
On the block.
Yes, from Money Earning, Mount Vernon. Yes, and she is a poet, a personal trainer. She's a professor. Yes, she is a lot of things, and she is always ready. Never has to get ready, right?
Yeah.
Could you do something, a little bit of something for them, just to let them know who you are?
Oh, let's see. Well, you should know that. Well, let's talk about the war amongst all the nation, running and fighting and escaping. Are we fighting the people we came from? If we are one nation and one world, the front line is filled with blood. You should know that. We should not hate but spread our love. So if you're living in sorrow, wipe those tears away for tomorrow and come up and chase all those gray clouds away. Operate, hey, you should know that.
You should know that.
You should know that, baby.
You should know that. You should know that. Yeah, you should know that.
You put me on this spot.
Spike Lee picked that up, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He used it as the official trailer for She's Gotta Have It. And without Harlem Late Night Jazz, I would not have the platform to do my music. So this is truly from the stem to the root.
Fantastic.
Right?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Because Spike Lee is well known all over the world. In Italy, we love him.
Yes.
I've seen all his movies. So, Spike Lee.
Kudos, right?
Yes.
Yes. We're
Spike
so
Lee.
proud of Sister
Absolutely.
Zoc. We're very proud. We're proud of all of our artists. Can I tell them a little bit
Go.
about
Tell me.
Harlem Late Night Jazz? So, as Maria said, we have been around since 2016, and after the closing of St. Nick's Pub and Lennox Lounge and even newer clubs that didn't even get a start, like Cassandra's Jazz and other clubs that have closed, La Famille, Nabe. We needed to do something more than just talk about it.
Exactly.
Right. So it was a simple idea. Let's just create a night, get everybody together, and just have a great time. And we've been doing that since 2016.
And you do it in different clubs.
Yes.
And different nights also, right?
Yeah, we've created a sort of virtual model for music where we subsidize the clubs and we market the musicians, we book the musicians, and we host the events, and it's a great night. And we try to keep the cover none or low, because it's really important for the late night music for people to be able to come together, get together, the jazz masters and the young lions together to bridge that generational gap, to keep the music fresh and infused with new blood. And you can't do that when everybody's working from 7 to 11. And then everything is closed and everyone goes home and no one gets to really come together and grow the music and make the music evolve, which is why it's so important. There are very few opportunities for jazz late night in Harlem right now, and that's a shame.
And this is the legacy, really, of St. Nick's Pub, because I remember when I'm talking about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, where I was living in the village at the time, I would come up to St. Nick's Pub. I would not go anywhere above 23rd Street.
Right.
All right?
Right.
But on Monday night, I would come to Harlem for
Yes.
St. Nick's Pub.
That was
And it
Patience
was,
night?
it was
Yes.
open night. I don't know, everybody was there.
Melvin, I think
Monday
Melvin
night.
Oh.
Melvin
Okay.
Vines night, was it Monday night?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot of different people. It was like a jam.
Yes.
Right.
And
Always.
they had
Oh,
tap
yeah.
dancing and so on. It was
And when I
fantastic.
moved back to New York after being in California for many years, the first place I came actually was St. Nick's Pub, because my brother, Gary Vincent, called. He said,
That's your brother?
yeah, that's my brother. He said, come meet me. I'm uptown. I'm at the pub. I brought my suitcases and I came to the pub. That night, I met Libya Pugh and Sophia Coffey. Yes, you better get your earrings. Sophia, and I met so many other people. I met my partners that I'm still working with now. And it was life-changing. It was sincerely life-changing.
Yes.
Like what could happen at the pub, you never knew.
Can I add?
Yes.
It was a place where artists commune. You know, I was coming from Tennessee, and I lived in Tennessee for a while, and I was walking by the bar with another artist, and the owner said, "Come on in." The owner of the building, and he started the second wave of it. And St. Nick's Pub was where we communed, and it was about collaborating as people and finding this human thread that was wove with music that connected us. And the Gregory Porters have come out of there. He found his drummer
Yep,
there.
I
He found
remember.
his band there. I was able to go at 2 a.m. and record with the legendary Dennis Davis, who played with David Bowie and
Yep.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Wonder. So it was more than just a venue. People, rich, poor, young, old, they were able to find this commonality
Yes.
in music, and you have continued this legacy. And I thank you with this Harlem Late Night Jazz and Maria. Your show is definitely a platform for us to get the word out about how
What's
music
going
is
on.
life changing.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
so necessary. Like this show that we're about to hold, our concert,
The
is
gala,
our inaugural
the gala,
benefit
which is
gala.
on the which
Yes.
date?
It's March 19th,
March
2020. Yes, at Alfred Lerner Hall, Columbia University. That was a blessing. That
And you can see it in the background.
Let's
yes,
be right there.
we have the most amazing show planned, and I mean sincerely, it's going to be our biggest event of the year, maybe ever, and it might be the biggest event, musical event that Harlem will see. I don't know. We get a lot of music, but
In some time,
we're
yeah.
compiling so many wonderful people in the same place with the idea that our theme, The Jazz Tree Lives, is talking about the history of jazz. The whole of it. People think, oh, jazz, my parents like jazz, or I like some jazz, but they don't really understand that jazz is a part of all of the
Everything.
music. Yes, it's the
a root,
African
yes.
American experience expressed musically in this country. So it encompasses so many things. So if you don't think you like jazz, maybe you should still come to the gala because we will change your mind. I mean, we've got
Absolutely.
Sister Zoc over here. We have Brandy Younger on the harp. Yes, we have Felicia Collins on the guitar. What she will do to that guitar, you want to see this. Yes, we have Omar Edwards who dances with his feet. I mean, he plays with his feet.
Dances with his feet, really?
He dances with his hands and he sings with his feet. But he was the Sandman for the Apollo.
He's a fantastic dancer.
He's fantastic.
And tap dancing. We're talking about incredible tap dancing.
He's fine.
Yeah. He is not hard on the eye, I will say that. Ladies, come out and see for yourself. It's again March 19th, Alfred Lerner Hall. The concert starts at 8 p.m. There's a VIP reception from 6 to 8 if you want to take in the full experience. And there's artist meet and greet. There's an after party because we do music, and so I think we have 32 musicians on the show.
Tell us a little bit about the lineup.
Yes. Well, if you come to the reception, we have Rob Fulton's quartet with Nat Adderley Jr. on the keys, and Lonnie Plaxico, and I know I'm going to forget somebody, but I will get back around to them because they're all in this trap right here. But we have Ronnie Barrage is our musical director, and he has put together a show. He has composed music. He's compiling all of these musicians and traveling the course of the entire jazz tree. He's been amazing because the type of effort that he has put to our event, I mean, we deserve it.
Yes,
and we're
put a lot of effort in
we
it.
could not possibly afford it. You understand what I'm saying? And the time and the energy that these artists are putting in, they're doing it for the smallest honorarium, and we just love them and thank them so much. We couldn't do it without the artist, the music community that we serve, because they had to believe in us and what we were taking on.
Exactly.
They've had to travel with us from club to club. We've had some success. If it's a club that wants to have an event, they want to serve the community with live music, but with the rents and the circumstances with our village right now, sometimes it's a challenge. So we help them to do that, and the musicians have just responded. And I mean, Farafina is gone now, but it was.
Oh, it's gone.
It is gone, but it's not because things weren't going well. In fact, we actually helped them to close in a way that was a little bit more graceful, right? So we provided that spark to help them close up nice and neatly. We have supported a lot of clubs. We were part of Minton's when they reopened, and we brought some late night in there.
I remember, and very good,
and
beautiful.
now they're vital, and they're doing their thing, and they don't really need us, so we can take our support and efforts to different clubs. Patrick's Place is new, but it's coming along, and it's been so rewarding to help them fill their audience because they have such a great environment. Patrick's Place, 151st and Frederick
Never
Douglass
been there.
Boulevard.
I have to
Yes,
check it
and,
out.
Yes, and so, you know, we've been in Gin Fizz, we've worked with Red Rooster, we've been in Mist, and we're at El San Juan on 5th Avenue right now, working with them to bring some jazz to their Monday nights.
That's good.
And we take it on. Sometimes it fits and sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
But it is always keeping the music vital and still thriving and on people's forefront. Not
which is really, jazz is one of the main reason why Harlem has become famous all over the world.
Yes.
It's the Mecca
Yes,
of
it
black
is.
culture and of jazz.
Yes, it is.
And so if we miss that
Yes.
here, that wouldn't make any sense. So what you're doing is really an important mission for everybody, because I remember when I first came to New York, in the Village, right along Bleecker Street, there were a lot of beautiful jazz clubs.
Yeah.
They're all gone
They're
now.
gone.
They disappear. And thank God,
Right.
some of them moved back uptown, because that's where they came from
Right.
originally.
And the younger generation needs this, because you can be educated, but just like in anything, when you get out of school, there's another education that is required for you to really become proficient and masterful in your whatever your given field.
Exactly.
So school can teach you a lot, but you need some experience. And Harlem was a place where everybody came to get their experience. They came to network. They came to show what they could do. People came to Harlem sometimes to learn, but sometimes to show, like, I think I'm ready. And we need that. And we need to send them out, like Gregory Porter always says. He says, you know, I honed it right there at the pub. I fine-tuned in my sound. And we gave him that acceptance because it was right. The world has agreed with us that it was right. He was amazing. But we gave him that, the wind under those wings, right, to go ahead and take that gift and soar. Sock is doing that right now.
Thank you.
Yes.
You guys have provided such a great platform, and you've also welcomed artists like my highlight and one of my favorite artists was Macy Gray, and I had the pleasure of opening for her through Harlem Late Night Jazz, and now I'm having the opportunity to actually collaborate and write something with Ronnie Barrage.
Yes.
So it's not only giving me a platform, it's all helping me grow and develop and expand as an artist, and to be innovative and all-inclusive and really keep my pulse on what's happening in Harlem and be able to articulate that to the world, because it's about community. It's about what we're doing right now, right here, and it's about humanity. It's about being accepting of, like the Lennox Lounge Buster would say and Vincent would say, letting people in no matter the race, color, creed, red, black, brown, green,
That's right.
rich or poor. It's about humanity, and it's about the music.
And wasn't this true? Now, every night at St. Nick's Pub was not the night at St. Nick's Pub.
Oh, you remember that night?
Right. Right? But you could almost not go home without checking to see if that night, every time you would think, oh, I'm not going to go by tonight. And then you go, but I think so-and-so might be there.
Yeah.
Or this might be happening. And the excitement would just turn your car around or turn your feet around and head you to St. Nick's Pub. And that's the energy that we like to create with
Olu
Harlem Late
Garland.
Night.
Yeah.
Conversations that would happen. You'd be conversing with legends.
Yes.
Nas's father was a regular. He's a staple in the backyard.
Yeah.
Gave me so much advice, which now I'm like, is that what he meant when he said this or that?
Right.
And it's so many gems and jewels that the music creates.
But like Gregory, if he's in town and we have an event, well, why not stop through?
Yes.
Well, I don't know what you had to pay for him. I'm sure he was worth it. But when you get him uptown,
It's a different story.
it's a different story.
I
And
saw
that
him-
charge is not going to be there.
I saw him at when he was at the club on 105th Street. A Smoke.
A Smoke.
When
Yeah.
he used to be
Yes.
there every Thursday, I think it was, a Smoke. And he wasn't yet
Yes.
the
Right.
world.
Right.
And
And he
then,
even
yes.
after that, he would finish
And
with
then
it.
after that, it just exploded. And I saw him everywhere. When I was
Right.
living in France, in Marseille, he was there for the Marseille Festival.
Right.
I saw him at Nancy Festival. I mean, I saw him everywhere.
Right. And who's like that now? We have
Lakeisha
Lakeisha.
Benjamin.
Oh,
Lakeisha
Lakeisha, yeah.
Benjamin is taking off. She's working her new project called
Yes.
Pursuance, tribute to Al Coltrane, John Coltrane and Alice Coltrane.
Wow.
And this project, her album releases next week. I'm doing a shameless plug for my homegirl.
Yes.
And
let's do that
Jasmine
shameless
is
plug.
here this weekend.
Yes.
too.
I mean, but this is the youth and the vigor that's coming out of that experience, because they were young, coming through Harlem, coming through St. Nick's Pub.
Couldn't even drink,
and
but they're
yeah,
sorry.
but
They're in the bar
they're doing big
playing
things
with
right
masters.
now. Yes, India Owens, I love her.
Oh, that's
This
my
is
girl.
Women's Month, so there's
Yeah.
India Owens. There's
I think
Lisa
that's where
Miller.
St. Nick's, I think, is the first time I think it was there that I saw the pianist who recently passed a couple of years ago, who was Jerry Allen. I think I saw her there.
Oh wow! Yes.
Yes, I think I
Yes.
saw her at St. Nick's pub the first time.
Right.
And she also became world renowned.
Yes, yeah.
She was
It
amazing.
happens, and we like to be that same stage, that same opportunity for the young up and coming, for the tested and tried and found true.
And the legends.
We would, and the legends.
Bertha Hope.
Yes, she has
Oh,
performed
yes.
with
Bertha
us.
Hope is amazing.
Yes.
Yes, Donald Smith,
Donald
which we will
Smith.
honor at the gala.
Kim Clark,
Kim Clark.
Kelvin Bell.
Yes,
Rashawn Carter.
Reggie Workman, who's like our
Reggie.
godfather. Yes, he's a godfather. He's an honorary chair, and will just so awesome because he will just support us in any
Yeah.
way we ask him. Yeah, so yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Family.
And
Have
how did you decide to do this? Because I mean, one thing is to think, okay, Harlem needs this. We can't find that anymore. But from thinking that there is a need and feeling that need, it's a gap. How did you get that?
It started with one event, and then it started
What
with.
event? I want to expound on that.
I believe it was August 19, 2016. And we had this little party at Farafina. And we started with the hours of 11 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And our first obstacle was, no one can do it. Nobody wants to stay up that late anymore. And I really told people to take naps. Everybody,
baby.
next week, I want you to take a nap before you come. But in a couple of months, people were staying. It was interesting because at 2:15, people would just get up and go home, no matter what was going on. It was like, oh, it's late. And then we looked around and people were there at 3, 4. We were closed and they were still hanging.
That's
It's like,
fantastic.
oh, that doesn't belong to us. Good night, club. We're going home. But it was such a cozy and warm
We
environment.
opened downstairs
Yeah.
after that,
And-
you guys.
And then we saw what a struggle it was to even offer this from a club that was willing and interested, like their numbers. Their
Yeah.
numbers is like, oh, our numbers. We can't afford to keep a kitchen open, or we can't afford to keep the bar open.
Yeah.
We can't afford these hours.
That's
because- Yes.
the problem.
So it's like, oh, how can we help? How can we help make that more palatable? And that's the marketing piece and encouraging people to take on this as a mission, and it actually worked for them. And so we've taken it around, and some clubs can't see their way to no cover. They don't understand it. They don't think they can afford it. But I think those clubs that have done best with it have worked with our model, because people will spend all that they have with you if they're having a good time
Yeah.
with you. And if I'm on the outside of your place, I don't know if I want to be in there or not.
Exactly.
And we want the community in there, so we can't really have that exclusive attitude or so we just encouraged it. And the more that we saw that the musicians need it, they need marketing. If I have a gig on Wednesday and one on Friday, if I advertise the gig on Wednesday, I'm leaving out the one on Friday, so they need support.
Yeah.
Right? The clubs need support because it's expensive to have live music, and they could just put a DJ and some pretzels on the table and make people drink. And so the clubs need support, the musicians need support, and the music just needed support. So we just kept plugging away, trying to find the way to make this thrive. And I think a lot of other people have taken up different mantles, and it's great because the more music there is in Harlem, the better it is for Harlem.
Absolutely. And I believe your partner, Dakota Pippin, who was also the president of the National Jazz Association of America.
But he is on the board of the Jazz Foundation of America. And,
Jazz Foundation of America.
And then we have the other partner, Paul Griffin.
Yes.
And he handles our Harlem community. He knows the Harlem community and the people and the places. And he keeps us very in tune to what's going on. And so the three of us basically have been making this little engine go. Now, the Jazz Foundation of America was our supporter to begin with, so they've been helpful to us all along the way, and we're very grateful to them.
That's very, very important to have such a foundation.
Yes.
That is supporting you. So we are coming to the end. We only have 1 minute left.
Okay.
Not even. So I would like you to tell our viewer all the information, recap about the gala.
All right.
Where to get the tickets.
HarlemLateNightJazz.org, or you can go to Eventbrite. It's Harlem Late Night Jazz Inc. And either way, you can get your tickets. You can visit our website, HarlemLateNightJazz.org, and donate. You can find out more about sponsorship packages, ad rates, which I think you have 2 more days to get an ad in. It's our inaugural, so it's our first one, and you only get 1 shot at having a first, and you only get 1 shot to be a part of the first. I want you to be a part of our first benefit gala and concert. So please come out. HarlemLateNightJazz.org. You can get your tickets there, and you can find out so much more about what we have been up to and what we plan to do in the future.
And celebrate.
Yes, it's a 501c3, and we are charged with keeping the music alive in Harlem. It's Mecca, where it belongs.
You should know that.
You should know that. Yes.
You should know that.